Hey, what's up guys? In this video we will do an exercise to get a better idea of what we learned in the previous video lecture. In the last lecture, apart from talking about the workspace of Solidworks and different commands that we're going to study, we actually used the line command. We see how we draw different types of line command. We can use the constraints to draw a vertical or horizontal line, and we also use the smart dimension to dimension it. So here we have an exercise. So we're going to sketch this on Solidworks. So you can have a closer look. We have all the dimensions that we need to draw the sketch. So in order to begin the sketch, we have quite a few options. We can either start from this end, sketch this line and then go on with this angle line, or we can start from this end and then went on to complete this one. So it's really up to you, but the more you practice, the more you'll get idea about how to approach such an example to complete it in a very short amount of time. This one is pretty simple, but when the complexity gets more and more, then you have to be aware of how to begin with, where to begin with, to get the job done in a very short span of time. So what we'll do here, we'll first of all we'll draw these lines, which are what, 1.5. So this is 0.5 and this is 0.5. So 1.5 minus 1 is 0.5. So this one is 0.52. Great. So we'll select the line, front origin here, and then first of all we're just going to draw a basic sketch, and then we'll dimension it up in the end. So we'll just draw the line. So it's look like something like this. You see all the constraints that we got. We have got a vertical constraint, so we just need to do it. So we'll just do it. So excellent. So now we have to draw this slanted line, which is 80 degree from between these two lines. So what we'll do, we'll zoom out a bit, and then we'll draw these two lines. Alright, so now we have actually used the line command to sketch it as close to this as possible. Now we're just going to click on smart dimension and dimension all the parts. So this was 1.8.5. This was 0.5, and this one is 0.5 as well. Okay, so now this is 2.5, so we'll dimension that. No, that was quite good assumption here. And now we'll dimension the remaining lines. This one is dimensions 5, and this one is 5 too. Sorry. There you go. And now we'll just give 80 degree angle between these two lines. So in order to dimension an angle, like we saw before, that in order to dimension a length, we just click on the line and just drag it, and we'll see the dimension. Now in order to dimension the angle, there are two ways. Either we can wait a second. Now to dimension the angle, we have to first click this line and then click this line. So there we got our angle. Just place it as what, 80. So we type 80 and there we have. And similarly this one and this one is wow. Yeah, alright, so this is a driven dimension, you see. So what's a driven dimension? So once you have dimension most of your lines, you'll see that this drawing is what you may call is fully defined. Here you can see down here, this is written fully defined sketch. So this sketch is fully defined. We don't have to give any more extra dimension. It will just over dimension it. That's not necessary. So since once we know that these two lines are equal and these two are 5 and this one is 80, then this angle is ought to be 80. If I try to make it other than 80, like if I click here, you see here, you can see this this note. Adding this dimension will make the sketch over defined or unable to solve. Alright, so we'll just click OK. So you can see that if we dimension it other than 80, then the condition that we have, the constraint that we have set already, and this one is to remain vertical, this one is to remain 0.5, this one is 0.5 as well, this is 2.5. So it will be unable to solve, Solidworks will be unable to solve it because that won't exist. Alright, so yeah, this is it. We can remove it as well. But yeah, and one more thing, make sure to have your every sketch fully defined. Although you can underdefine your sketch and then move on with the 3D design and all of the sketches, it will work. But you have to make sure that it is fully defined, because if you don't define it fully, then you're going to have some sort of error, whether it's in the assembly when you'll be assembling your model, or when you'll be, let's say, using it for 3D printing. Then when it goes to the programming stuff for the M code and C code, it will generate some errors. So make sure to have it fully defined, like in this case. And yeah, that's it. So thank you so much guys for attending these lectures.